I've seen people in their rawest moments. As a paramedic, it's my job to show up when lives are falling apart. I've watched strangers clasp hands with the dying. I've watched husbands crumble over wives who might never open their eyes again. I've seen the very best of humanity shine through in the very worst of times. That's what makes this story so bitter. Because the one time I needed someone to show up for me, the one person who should have been there, the woman I loved, wasn't. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and keep watching because we're just getting started. Her name was Kate. For 2 years, she had been my girlfriend, my partner, or at least I thought she was. We lived together in the apartment I had worked overtime after overtime to afford. On the surface, things looked good. She was fun, spontaneous, beautiful. She had the kind of energy that drew people in at every party. I was the opposite. Quiet, stable, steady. I thought we balanced each other. She made life exciting. I made life secure. But there was one fracture in the relationship that I tried to ignore. Her so-called best friend, Julian. Julian was everything I wasn't. Rich, carefree, a trust fund kid who pretended to work as a consultant. In reality, his job seemed to consist of eating at overpriced restaurants 4 times a week and handing out unsolicited advice like it was gospel. Kate adored him. She swore they were just friends, but their bond was different. They had inside jokes I never understood, conversations she never shared with me, and constant secretive texts. I wanted to trust her, I really did. But I couldn't shake the feeling that I was the third wheel in their little 2-person story. Still, I stayed. I chose to believe her, because I thought love meant trust. And then, last Tuesday happened. It was the end of a long shift, the kind that leaves you bone-tired but satisfied. The rain was coming down hard, and the city streets were slick and shining under the traffic lights. I remember thinking all I wanted was to get home, shower, and collapse into bed. Instead, my world came apart in the space of a heartbeat. A teenager in a souped-up Civic blew through a red light and slammed straight into the driver's side of my car. The impact was like an explosion. Screeching tires, metal twisting, glass shattering, the sickening crunch of my car folding in around me. For a moment, everything went white. When I came to, I was trapped in the wreckage. My colleagues, paramedics I knew, were pulling me out, their faces grim. I was strapped to a backboard, pain screaming through my skull, my left arm bent at a sickening angle. I knew it was broken before anyone told me. As they loaded me into the ambulance, a familiar face appeared. Officer Dave, a cop I'd worked alongside on countless calls. His voice was firm but gentle. "Hey man, your car's totaled. We're having it towed. We need an emergency contact for the report. Who should we call?" Even through the haze of pain, I didn't hesitate. "My girlfriend," I said. "Call Kate." The ride to the ER was a blur of sirens and morphine. They cut me out of my uniform, hooked me to IVs, sent me for scans. The results weren't great, but could have been worse. A broken humerus, a moderate concussion, bruising everywhere, but no internal bleeding. I'd live. About an hour later, a nurse walked in. Her tone was apologetic but firm. "We've been trying to reach your emergency contact, Kate, several times. No answer. Is there someone else we can call?" My stomach dropped. No answer? Of course I knew why. It was Tuesday. Tuesday meant her sacred standing lunch date with Julian. I pulled out my cracked phone with my good hand and sent her a text. "Hey, I've been in a bad car accident. I'm in the ER at St. Mary's. My arm is broken. Car is totaled. Can you come pick me up? Minutes later, the dots appeared. Then her reply came through, and with it, the collapse of everything I thought I knew about her. OMG, that's awful. So sorry to hear that. But I'm actually in the middle of a really important lunch with Julian right now. Can't just leave. Can you get a taxi or something? Let me know how it goes. I read it once. Then again. My chest went hollow. In that moment, something inside me froze over. She wasn't just unavailable. She wasn't just late. She had looked at my real, verifiable emergency and chosen to prioritize wine and appetizers with another man. The betrayal was so clear, so sharp, it cut through the painkillers. I wasn't just hurt. I was done. I took a screenshot of her text. Then I sent her a single word. Okay. And I called Dave. Hey, Dave. Thanks for helping at the scene. Listen, I know you've been trying to reach my emergency contact. She's not answering. But I know where she is. She's at the Gilded Spoon downtown. I think it's important you make contact with her in person for the official report. Dave paused. Then his tone hardened. We'll send a unit right now. You just focus on healing. Enjoying the video? Give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's next. An hour later, still in my hospital bed, I got the story from him. The Gilded Spoon was one of those glossy, trendy places where people go to be seen. Kate and Julian were seated near the window, laughing over overpriced rosé. The restaurant went silent when two uniformed officers walked in. Everyone watched as they crossed the room and stopped at her table. Ma'am, are you Kate Miller? One of them asked, his voice loud enough for the entire restaurant to hear. Yes, she said, her smile faltering. We're here regarding a major vehicle collision involving your partner, Adam Sterling. He was transported by ambulance to St. Mary's Hospital with significant injuries. We've been attempting to contact you for 2 hours, as you are listed as his primary emergency contact. Mr. Sterling informed us we could locate you here. The officer's words hung in the air like hammers. Major collision, significant injuries, emergency contact. The color drained from Kate's face. Julian sat frozen, glass in hand, staring at her like he didn't recognize the person sitting across from him. The officers concluded calmly, "That is all, ma'am. You should probably head to the hospital." Then they walked out, leaving a crater of silence behind. Kate's very important lunch was over, and so was the illusion of who she was. I never went back to our apartment. My sister came instead, furious on my behalf. She called a moving company, had every single one of Kate's belongings packed into boxes, and changed the locks. Then she sent Kate an email. She had 48 hours to collect her things under supervision. Any attempt to contact me directly would be treated as harassment. Meanwhile, my phone blew up with Kate's frantic messages. First, fake concern. I'm so sorry, I didn't see my phone. Where are you? I'm coming now. Then panic. They said you were discharged. Why aren't you answering me? Then blame. This is all your fault. You sent the cops to humiliate me. I didn't reply. I blocked her. Later that night, I got a message from Julian. To my surprise, it was an apology. I had no idea about your accident. The second the police left, I paid my half and walked out, the way she dismissed something so serious. That's not someone I want in my life. I'm done with her. Hope you recover fast. It was self-serving, sure, but it told me everything I needed. Kate had lost both her boyfriend and her best friend in one afternoon. 7 months have passed since then. My arm has healed. The concussion is long behind me. My life is quiet, steady, mine again. Kate never recovered. The story of the police showing up at the Gilded Spoon became legendary gossip in her circle. She couldn't spin it, couldn't excuse it. She was simply the woman who chose brunch over her injured boyfriend in the ER. She lost friends, respect, everything. And eventually, she lost me too. She tried reaching out once, an email full of excuses and half-hearted apologies. She blamed Julian, claimed she panicked, said she missed our stable life. I didn't reply. I set a filter so anything from her went straight to trash. Because the truth is, my revenge wasn't the public humiliation. That was just delivery. My real revenge was cutting her out completely, reclaiming my life, and realizing I never needed someone like her in it. She treated me like an inconvenience. I treated her like she never existed. The look on her face when the police officer stood at her table, that was just the beginning. The silent phone, the empty apartment, the friends who drifted away. That was the real ending. And in the end, I realized something simple but freeing. She wasn't the sickness in my life. I had been the cure all along. You know, this story really hits a nerve because it shows how much character is revealed in a crisis. It's easy to laugh and share wine when life is good, but real love shows up when things fall apart. Kate's reaction wasn't just selfish, it was revealing. She showed exactly who she was when it mattered most. And honestly, sometimes the worst day of your life is actually a blessing in disguise because it clears out the people who don't deserve to stay in it. If you made it this far, thank you for listening. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more stories, and share your thoughts in the comments below.